All the fireworks in Austin. All the fun fireworks. Damn right, Kimmy. Pound that champagne. Fuck, I gotta get my coffee. Alright, back to my coffee. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 137 of the CAMcast. Yes, I'm gonna start numbering these because, hey, guess what? I forgot where episode 100 was. So we're gonna start numbering these things so we all know where we're at, so we can celebrate 150 and 200 and so on and so forth. Thank you for joining us on wherever it is you're finding us. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. We appreciate it. Rate, review, subscribe if you haven't already. 5 stars preferred. Anything less, we're going to call you a hater and be disappointed in you. Because, hey, guess what? You're not paying for this thing. Yet. And by yet, I mean, here's some big announcement right off the top. We finally have a Patreon page. Yes, if you go to camautomag.patreon, never mind, if you go to patreon.com/camautomag, you'll be able to subscribe to us from anything from $1 up to $50. If you want to give us more, sure. I'm not going to say no, but yeah. $1 we shout you out, and then we have 5, 10, 30, 50, get hats, shirts, access to the super secret Facebook group, some exclusive content. It's all pretty good. That is patreon.com/camautomag is where you go for that. And as always, thank you to our sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing, steady.broke on all social media, steadybroke.com. Head on over there, get yourself a hoodie, get yourself a Broke State University long sleeve, get yourself a hat, get prepared for fall. Put all that awesome stuff in your cart, use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout, and that will save you 15% off of your entire order, and it also says, hey, Cam Automag told me to come on over. They're pretty cool. They said you're cool too. So, yeah, steadybroke.com, steady.broke on all social media for your dope-ass thread needs. Now, let's talk some racing. I foolishly recorded an episode on Saturday ahead of the U.S. Grand Prix, thinking that it was just gonna be another normal Grand Prix, but guess what? Your boy was wrong, because guess what? Kimi broke that 113 race winless streak. Yes, it had been like Australia 5 years ago was the last time he won a race, but yep, lo and behold, here he was in Austin, holding off Lewis Hamilton and a charging Max Verstappen who came from towards the back of the pack because he broke his car in Q1, so he couldn't advance any further than where he was. Which was kind of funny because in Austin they put out new curbs on the outside of the red and white curbing. And everybody was calling them Verstoppers because we all remember last year when Max went way wide and put all 4 wheels off the track and broke the track limits to pass Kimi. So they put more sausage curbs out there and he broke his car on one of them. It was delightful. Anyway, Lewis needed to outscore Seb by, I think, 5 or 8 points, but unfortunately he couldn't do it. He just could not keep enough distance between. I think he finished 3rd, Vettel came in 4th, I do believe. But the race started off very interesting. Lewis, who qualified on pole, ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, who ended up in 2nd because Sebastian Vettel got himself a 3-place grid penalty for not slowing down enough during a red flag period in free practice 1. So, it was Hamilton from Kimi, and Kimi got a better start because Lewis just kind of smoked the tires at the beginning. So, up and around the hill they went, and yeah, it was quite a fun little battle to watch between Kimi and Lewis. They were on opposite pit strategies, and thankfully for Kimi and Ferrari, it kind of worked out for them. Unfortunately, things that didn't work out was for Fernando Alonso, who will not be doing a full-time IndyCar ride next year, because McLaren's not doing that, but maybe in 2020, in his brand new Coke-sponsored, yes, Coca-Cola is now sponsoring the tire fire that is McLaren, going through the S's on lap 1, Lance Stroll comes out of nowhere, and it was a bit more than a bop, because Lance's left front wheel went all the way into Fernando's right side pod and just destroyed it. And then Fernando was not happy. He later said there are more amateurs in Formula One than there are in the WEC, which is hilarious, but alright. let him be that. Red Bull came out with some sweet fire suits for the race. Kind of, looking like cowboy. Everybody looked like Woody from Toy Story. And unfortunately, for one Mr. Daniel James Thaddeus Ricciardo, his car lost power, and he was forced to retire. And there was a great shot of him walking away dejectedly from the car, nothing really in the background, and that spouted off some great memes. Specifically, somebody said, "Man, Red Dead 2 looks real awesome." So, that was delightful. Charles and Romain Grosjean also got into each other, and they both ended up retiring because of them getting into each other. And several people were DQ'd after the race for fuel issues. So, there you have it. The Formula One Grand Prix was very interesting. And let's see, talked about Seb getting a grid penalty. There we go. The Verstappers stopped Max Verstappen. Yeah, qualifying. There we go. Coca-Cola's sponsoring McLaren, and no McLaren IndyCar team for next year. All right, cool. There's your racing news, done in a very quick fashion. Funny how it works when there's nobody else here to just kind of throw in stuff. Anyway, we have we got the fall collection in full effect over at CAMautoswag.com. That is another great way to help us out, in addition to subscribing to our brand new Patreon. So, we've got the Mount Canmore shirt. We apologize to whomever you are angering by wearing that shirt, but not you. Can't stop you from shining. I'd like to change my answer. Have you seen Pizza Dad? We got new beanies. We got regular beanies, and we got pom-pom beanies, which are pretty sweet. I grabbed myself a pom-pom beanie and a zip-up hoodie. So, your boy's going to be looking rather jaunty and fun here in the next little bit. So that is over at CAMautoswag.com. Help us out by grabbing some stuff. And when you do grab something, snap a photo of you wearing it and send it our way. Either tag us on social media, we're at CamAutomag on everything, or send us an email, mailbag@camautomag.com. That's CAMautoswag.com. So, let's talk some news. Still lightly touching on F1. Yes, the Mercedes, the AMG 1, that crazy-ass hypercar thing that Mercedes-AMG is working on, it will not pass emissions, because guess what? F1 engines do not idle at 1200 RPM. They idle at like 5000 RPM. Anything below that is super rough. There are things just blowing past valves. It's just, not working out for them. So it has been delayed because it will not idle. We have a new fastest wheel-driven vehicle. The official record is 482 miles an hour, but the Turbinator 2 hit 503 miles per hour on a one-way pass. For a land speed record to work, to be official, you have to go down, turn around, and come back, and then they average out your speeds. Unfortunately, because weather was a concern, they could only make the one-way pass. So, sucks, but 503 is pretty impressive. Their goal now is to reach 600 miles an hour. That's, just think about that for a minute. 600 on the ground. Yeah. Your steampunk three-wheeled electric vehicle dreams are on indefinite hiatus because Morgan has put its EV3 three-wheeler on indefinite hiatus. This thing looks awesome, but unfortunately they are having problems with their supplier. They just cannot meet the necessary requirements. But Morgan is saying they still want to bring you an electric three-wheeler, which I want them to, because I think that would be awesome. Just rolling around with your steampunk glasses, or, just trying to look super duper cool. But, oh well. Hopefully we get that going in the nearby future. Now, this is a story that kind of reminds us we're all kind of in the wrong industry. A Toyota dealership, Passport Toyota, they have been found, they have settled with the FTC for sending out false recall notices to get people to come into the service department. And then they would find things for, that the customer's vehicle needed. and then would charge them for stuff that was outside of this quote-unquote recall. Yeah, it looked a lot like an official NHTSA recall notice, but, that, it just wasn't. So they were forging this document and sending it out and saying, hey, come in. There is no monetary damages coming from this. Basically, the FTC said, no, bad passport, bad, and just sent them on their way. They didn't fine them, they didn't do anything else. So, just think about that when you're getting yelled at for doing something slightly nefarious by, boss, significant other, cop, whomever. Let's see, a low mileage, 20,000 mile, single turbo, 6-speed manual, JZA-80, the Mark IV Supra, the one that that has been hoisted upon the pedestal, even though I think it is falsely up there, but that's neither here nor there. One recently just sold for $70,500. And from the outside, this thing looks, outside of the big HKS exhaust, it looks bone stock, because it has the stock wheels, intercooler's not terribly visible, but you pop the hood, big single, look on the inside, couple little aftermarket gauges. Yeah. So, further proof that the JZA-80 is made of gold and constantly keeps getting more and more valuable. We have some new Top Gear hosts. So, we all remember Matt LeBlanc said he was going to be leaving, he wasn't going to be on in 2019 because the travel schedule was taking him away from friends and family far too much. Understandable. I think we can all kind of, can't fault him for that. Some of you hated him for reasons I don't quite understand, but, let's spend more time with his family. He's had a very long acting career, so, let him have some fun. So, we are still retaining Chris Harris. He's still there, but then he will now be joined by Patty McGinnis, a comedian and TV presenter. He had a show called Stars in Their Cars, which is exactly what it sounds like. And former cricket captain, he won the Ashes, whatever that is. Somebody, James, let us know what the hell that means. So former cricket captain and Ashes winner, Andrew Freddie Flintoff, who has a Ferrari California, aka every rich dude's first Ferrari. So they will be joining him. Rory Reid will still stick around. He will still be, quote, a member of the Top Gear family, but he is back to hosting Extra Gear. So, it's a bit of a bummer. I really liked Rory. He kind of brought a more everyman sense of enthusiasm to the trio of a very wealthy actor who has good taste in cars, and, Chris Harris, who has driven literally every amazing car that has come out in the last decade. So, oh well. Don't know when the new Top Gear is going to be hitting our television sets, / whatever website you are bootlegging the stream from, but it will be coming out sometime next year with Chris Harris and two dudes you've never heard of. Ford will not be bringing the Ranger Raptor to the U.S. They say it's going to cost too much, which I kind of understand, but there is kind of a need for a truck that isn't the size of a house. So, I think they're just afraid that it would be cannibalizing sales of the full-size Raptor and other, more fun, smaller variants of the F-150. So, why bother hurting yourself? Kind of the same reason why we'll never get another Silvia 240 whatever coming out of Nissan. Or we never got the Scirocco in this country because Volkswagen North America is afraid that the Scirocco would cannibalize two-door GTI sales, even though those things exist in other markets. But, that's neither here nor there. But hey, good guy Ford is going to be building 350 more Ford GTs. Yeah. That is, they're going to be building them through 2022 up at the Multimatic plant up in Canada, where, the cars, all the Ford GTs and all of Ford's racing cars have been built because they have quite the fun deal with Multimatic. Still going to be $450,000. Going to be building them through 2022, and hold on, I want to try to get you the, so on November 8th of this year, they will open up applications, and they will be open for 30 days. So, if you got that kind of money, one, subscribe to our Patreon. We could, use a few bucks or just cut us a check. I'm not picky on this one. But if you have that kind of money, you can also run over to your Ford dealership and try to get yourself a new Ford GT if you missed out on the first 1,000. And let's see. So, we all remember the 911T, the lighter, more powerful 911. Well, they're doing the same thing with the Cayman. One last kind of performance purist-oriented car before the Cayman, the 718, gets a refresh in 2020. It may or may not get the Cayman S motor, a hopped-up version of it, with, 10, 15 more horsepower, a sports-tuned exhaust, but it will be a lot lighter. A lot of, remember the Boxster Speedster, or whatever it is, the pop-up tent thing, that had the little door pulls, the fabric door pulls and all that stuff, and it was very stripped down. Think a lot like that, except, in a Cayman, something better than a Boxster, although I like the Boxster. But one thing is for certain, it will cost you a hell of a lot more than your box standard Cayman, because that is the way of these supercar manufacturers. So, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have blown through the news, and it has taken us a hell of a lot less time, because guess what? We don't have 4 other people wanting to give you opinions on things. We're not going on any weird tangents, but, this is what happens when it's a solo episode. So, thank you for joining us. You can find, we do this thing twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursday, we have episode 138, our big, crazy spectacular, where we try and celebrate a little bit, but it's a good one. It's going to be a good one. So, look for that on Thursday, episode 138. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you find your podcast. Fun fact, a lot of your third-party podcast apps pull from iTunes, so a little tidbit for you. Anyway, rate, review, subscribe if you haven't already. 5 stars preferred, anything less. Trent's going to be disappointed in you. I'm just going to call you a hater, and we're going to make fun of you next time we see you. So, be cool for this thing that you're not paying for. Unless you want to pay for it, then head on over to patreon.com/CamAutomag and subscribe to our Patreon. We got anything from $1, we shout you out on the podcast, up to $50, where you get a sweet shirt, sticker, access to the Facebook page, our super secret Cam Shenanigans group, some exclusive content, some random behind-the-scenes stuff. Maybe you'll get to see me cook. I don't know. We're still trying to figure that one out. So, there you go. All sorts of variety for you, depending on how broke you are. And speaking of being broke, Steady Broke Clothing sponsors this thing. They've been helping us keep the lights on for a while. So head over to steadybroke.com, put some cool stuff in your cart, and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. And take that money that you saved and head over to CamAutoswag.com. Get yourself a new pom-pom beanie or just a regular plain beanie, whatever. Not going to judge you. Get yourself a hoodie. Get yourself one of our new long-sleeve Cam logo shirts. And get yourself prepared for fall. Or be awesome and get a Mount Canmore shirt, or Where's Pizza Dad, or I'd like to change my answer to the Chevy Chevette shirt. We got all sorts of stuff for you. That's over at CamAutoswag.com. So for episode 137, I've been Mike. We'll see you on Thursday. And have yourselves a good time.